I guess I'll just go up. We'll go up into the prison so we can give the streamers.
Check the chat.
Yeah. How's it doing? Crisis has nothing on this. That's hilarious. Crisis might have something on this.
Much bigger budget.
All right, yeah, so... yeah, it's all that time later. So does anyone have any questions? Yes?
Day-night cycle, are you going to tie it to a computer clock? Are you going to set the game a cycle so that once you start it goes? Is it going to be perfect 24 hours synced with Earth, or...?
Well, our thoughts on that last time we discussed it, which was admittedly a while ago, were that we would give the user the option to sync it to their own computer if they want, or to use the built-in day-night cycle if they want, and possibly have the ability to adjust that cycle a little bit if you feel like it's too fast or too slow. Like, I always felt like the Real Mist cycle was way too fast, but maybe some people liked it, so yeah, we want to give the users a lot of options while still maintaining a realistic time span for the development of the game. So we'll see. I'm not gonna, yeah.
Are you going to give users fly mode?
There are currently no plans to give users fly mode. We don't even have fly mode for ourselves for testing, but maybe, I don't know. It certainly probably wouldn't be like a obvious, just enable fly mode checkbox, but maybe you could enable it some way. I don't know.
After you've won the game.
Yeah, once you've beaten the game, you can play it in mirror mode or something. I don't know.
That's true. Part of an Easter egg type.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the mirror sandwich. I can't really. Yes?
There'll be a left-hand cursor.
We'll have a left-hand cursor, sure. Last time we talked about it, we wanted to have, we wanted to make it so that you could play with the original Raven cursor, the Real Mist cursor, or the Ruru cursor. We had talked about the Revelation cursor, but I think that's probably a whole lot more work that we don't really want to put that in just for the novelty of having a free cursor. So we'll see. But a left-hand cursor wouldn't be difficult to implement.
Oh, yeah.
And then all the tapping.
Yes.
How do you plan on integrating the live action sequences?
Well, our plan is to have avatars similar to how End of Ages does it, but perhaps a little less creepy with the video textures for the faces, but it's on the same line. Oh yeah, what other idea? Yeah, that's not that.
Zip, 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 zip.
Let's see it. I have to play the video again for these guys because they didn't see it. That's fine. We're not full screen.
Going full screen.
So again, this is done with camera matching, and we have. We're also working on Jungle Island using the same techniques, but it's not nearly at the same stage of completion, so I can't show you yet.
Have you worked on any of the building interiors?
The interior, the whole cave thing with the tunnel going back, that I think is done. There's some of the interior of the boiler. We had the whole lab finished at one point, but I think we want to redo it for quality assurance. Yeah. That's it for that. That's fantastic. Are there any other questions in here? Are there any other questions from other people?
Did anyone see my paper person?
Hello, Allison.
Will the users be confined to the original slideshow path and would it be possible to go places that weren't necessarily
Um,
walked in before?
We're currently discussing how much more you'll be able to explore rhymes. But generally speaking, you'll probably be confined to the same areas, but in places where there's no reason why you couldn't wander off somewhere else, I think we'll probably allow you to do that. Like, for example, I guess there, like the clearing area where you get into the cart on Jungle Island, there's like a Y-shaped path, so we wouldn't like constrain you to that path. You could wander between the paths and that sort of thing. But like in the jungle itself, you probably couldn't wander off the path in between the trees. That's probably the distinction we make. And like we're not gonna let you like wander off a cliff and plummet to your death. Like that's probably not gonna be something grabbing in the game. But maybe, I don't know.
You can't fall over like Port Shell.
Basically, it's a debate between wanting, like, you know, obviously we're super big fans of Riven, so we want to go explore all these places, but at the same time we don't want to confuse the gameplay too much. Because if you can wander everywhere, then you're going to be inclined to wander everywhere and not be directed towards puzzles. So people playing the game for the gameplay might be a little confused by that. So we might have a checkbox or something that lets you wander elsewhere, perhaps. Although the plan right now is to not add anything too drastic, like, you know, you might not be able to go outside at the lab on 233, like that sort of thing. We probably wouldn't stray that far, but wandering off the paths, perhaps. Three questions. So is this using Direct 3D9, OpenGL, etc.? So right now we're running in Unity, and Unity will build to Windows or Mac OS 10, eventually Linux. And it uses Direct 3D on Windows and OpenGL on Mac, and it makes everything look the same. So we don't have to worry about that, which is nice. And I think it'll use DirectX 10, 11 on Windows, right? Or
It uses DirectX 9
DirectX
right now.
9.
Unity 4 is
Eventually it'll use DirectX 10, 11, whatever. You mentioned you're planning ads. You mentioned you're planning on using character model for the NPCs, just higher quality than those you see in End of Ages. Have you guys started the concept high-res models for those yet, or are they just in the planning stages? We do have screenshots posted of those things on our website, starryexpanse.com, but they're somewhat old versions of the avatars, and they're probably going to be redone before being put into the game. So if you go there and you look at them and you're like, ugh, that's probably because they're old and not finished. Would you say that you are progressing faster now than ever before? Yes, I think we're always moving faster and faster. And with the cyan stuff, we have the potential to move a whole lot faster because the modeling stage should be sped up by a lot with the addition of cyan's original assets that we can use. I'm not going to put a percentage on our progress, though. It's still going to take a long time. Right. Any other questions?
Are you going to include any Easter eggs?
We'll probably have Easter eggs. Yes?
How much of 233 is done? Because I remember seeing screenshots of
Right, so
some of that.
there's some areas that we're not sharing with the public until they're totally done, but but 233, all of the camera matching is done for it. The final assets haven't been.
I'm in your seat.
created
That's
yet.
just,
We
I know, I'm gonna have to
everything.
copy it so it gets
General
batteries.
shapes. So we essentially have very low poly, not optimized models for all of 233 done. It's actually the page that we used for developing the camera matching technique. So we have it, but it's not finalized yet. I think Sandra's results. Yep.
I'm sorry, can you discuss with Cyan about, like, is this going to be for sale? And
We haven't discussed the signing yet, that aspect of it, so we don't, I guess we don't really have anything to announce on that front. We have business is just very exciting. Yeah. Well, last interview with Rand, the question, sorry, the question is, what about that interview with Rand where he said that they might make the ribbon? And I think that that interview was pretty recent, and Rand is aware of us and the deal that Cyan has with us. So I think his actual response was that they want to, but they can't do it. That's what I think the official position on Cyan doing over is, rather than trying to get us to do it. They don't think they would tell us to go ahead and do it if they're messaging.
Cheap labor.
Exactly, it'll work for free.
Oh, you guys are